Peace, love, and power, beautiful people. I am going to share a little bit about this energy again that we are a part of, that is manifesting through us, and that we have access to. So, there are so many different resources out there about astrology, the stars, the moon. I mean, there are just countless things. And a lot of this is due to this great awakening or enlightenment. Spiritually speaking, what I feel and what I have come to see is that we're in a space of urgency where everyone has to figure out why they're here, what they're doing, what place they want to be in, because I can't describe it, but something is coming, something is happening. We have the energy of war. And let me tell you what's happening in addition to this warfare. The veil of consciousness, or the veil of physical and spiritual energy. There's a very fine line, because we're human beings, right? And so we see each other. You see my flesh. However, we do not typically see what's happening around us in the atmosphere, energetically, in the ethereal realm. So it is very profound right now because that veil, or the thing that separates the physical from the spiritual, is literally vanishing. And so that means so many things. I mean, the pressure, the energy, the messages, things are really immense right now. They're thick, they're heavy, they are coming very powerfully and very strongly. And so part of this is because of this shift in consciousness, or this shift in dimension, this awakening, this level of knowing. There's so much floating around there, around the atmosphere, around us. There's so many different things, so many different signs. You can literally go Google things and find out about all kinds of stuff. So with that, you know how they say knowledge is power. Or what is the other one? Something about responsibility. With great responsibility, y'all know what I'm saying. So with that, because there's so much information, and because we are now in this age of knowing, we are being held accountable. You can't have all of this knowing and all of these things, all this information floating around, and you're still living the same way. You're still thinking the same way. We're being called to elevate. So that encompasses so many things. Physically, I shared in a previous video that physically, a lot of things are happening to people. You might feel your body feels different. Sicknesses, just sensations. For me, since January 1st, my appetite has been completely different. I don't even have, it's weird. I don't even have this urge for like junk food. And I don't eat that much junk food, but I mean, I indulge, whenever I want. But lately, it's been really hard for me to put anything in my body if I know that it's not going to serve me. It's been hard for me to just pick up something and eat, even if I'm real hungry. Before, or after we cross over into this 2020, this 4-year, before, I would be going sometimes all day and then be hungry, and then it's just like that first thing you see, or like you get cravings when you're malnourished, or when you're not eating or taking in the right amount of nutrients. Sometimes you have cravings for salty things, sweet things. Anyways, through my through this transition, I just have been feeling like very light, very empty, and also just like I don't even want anything that is about to mess me up, or that's about to make me feel any type of way that I don't want to feel. So, and it's not even like a conscious decision. It literally is, my body is literally like, no. And so I've been consuming a lot of teas, a lot of smoothies. If I ain't got no, time, or if I don't have anything, to prepare at the moment, then I literally will like eat fruit or like eat nothing until I do get what I want to feed myself that I know is good for me. So I'm sharing this because I'm saying that it is real, y'all. You cannot ignore the things that are happening right now, cosmically, energetically. You cannot ignore them. If you do ignore them, that's fine. You're just gonna not know what's happening. You're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna be confused out here. Don't be confused. We don't have to be confused. We have the ability to know. We are divinely connected to the universe, to everything that is divine, everything that is all powerful. We are connected to that same energy. We have the ability to access that energy. We have the ability to access that power. So with all of that information, I have just been receiving so many messages, so many different, downloads or whatever you call those things. And it's been overwhelming. I am still balancing out like what to share, when to share it. So y'all bear with me. I'm just trying to get something out there, as I'm growing this platform, because I see this necessary, and I'm doing this for my people, because my people have been taken so far away from their divinity and from their knowing and from their spiritual practice and from their ancestors that we out here not knowing what's going on, and things are popping off in the spiritual realm. And when things pop off in the spiritual realm, you better know that they're popping off in the physical realm. So we're called right now to get to where we have to be. What does that mean? I say that all the time. And what I mean is, you got to figure out what you're doing right now in this life, right? So if you go to work, or even if you have your own business, that's amazing. That's the physical. How are you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually? Do you know what's happening around you? Do you know what forces are around you? Do you know what forces are guiding you? Do you know what forces are against you? Do you know the higher? Do you know what's outside of you, what's inside of you? And so we're being called to get to where we need to be. Again, if you are out of alignment, meaning if you are doing something so far off that has nothing to do with what you signed up to come here for, then it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult regardless, but it's going to be real difficult if you are way off on another path and your path is right here, right? Because when we're born as pure, precious, just beautiful, raw beings. We literally, before we are birthed into this world, before we come into the portal, before we enter through and exit out of our mother's wombs, we know why we're here, because that's the closest that we've been to that origin, right? So before we do that, we literally have signed a little contract. We say, yep, I'll go do that. I'm coming for that. I'm going to complete that mission, right? When we're born, this is our path. We're here. We are literally birthed. We come out the mother's womb. We're here. We're already there. We're already in alignment. But then we're taken so far away from that because of so many things, right? Because of the past, because of the programming, because of the matrix, because of the powers that we thought were to be are taking us away from who we naturally are, right? And so we stray so far away from this path. And that is why I talk about alignment, because when we stray far away from this path, things happen and we don't understand why things are happening. And then we spend a lifetime trying to get back onto this path when we don't even know that we've strayed away from this path. So get to where you need to be is here. So as we continue to grow and heal ourselves, because healing yourself is a critical part of this right here. You can't be off crazy and imbalanced and not aware of why you are the way you are and be peacefully walking here. It's simultaneous. It all works together. It's all connected, right? So doing your work, when I talk about doing your work, when I talk about getting to where you need to be, I am talking about facing those things, the things about yourself that maybe you don't want to face, or the painful things that you have hidden or tucked deep down inside that you don't want to talk about. The things that have hurt you, the people that have hurt you, the problems that you may have with forgiving or letting go. It is immense. It's vast. It's a whole journey. It's not no like start, go, start here, in here, right? But you got to start somewhere. Okay. And so when I talk about alignment and healing yourself, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about going inside and breaking those things that you thought were permanent in your DNA. Because let me tell you, you have the power to alter your DNA for the better, for your future, for your descendants. If you don't do this work right now, then those that come after you will have to struggle with the same things, and it'll just be a cycle, a cycle, a cycle. So that's why when I say I heal myself, I heal my family, I heal my ancestors, and I heal my future, because when I become conscious and aware of the things that have once broken me or hurt me or caused me pain or caused me to act a fool, when I choose to look those things in the eye and say, you will not anymore, because I acknowledge and I know why it happened, and I will not allow it to happen again. When I do that, that is healing myself. Healing yourself is not some magical thing where you're sitting in meditation and all of a sudden shit comes to you and you know what to do. Healing yourself is an unraveling, it's an unfolding, it's an aching thing. It can feel lonely, it can feel all these ways, but you gotta do it. You gotta start, right? And so I love to get more into those things, those ways and how and all of that. That's a part of what this channel and this platform is gonna be about. But for now, we dealing with the right now, and right now shit is popping off. And so get to where you need to be. So start to think about these things. Who am I? Am I happy with myself? Am I at peace with my life? No matter what's happening around me, am I at peace within myself? Can I sit here and just be like, you know, I know it's gonna be all right. I'm good. I'm good. Can I sit here and can I do that? That's one of the things. The next thing is the energy that I am exerting and taking in and expressing and passing on and transmitting and transmuting, is that energy, is it serving me, for one, right? So am I spending time in the places that I should spend time in? Is that serving me? Is that helping to add to my peace and my knowing and my alignment right here? Are these things that I'm doing, are they what I'm supposed to be doing? Is my focus on the right thing? Am I only driven by money and not anything else? Because I know that's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother barrier that we as a people struggle with, because we have been deprived, right? We have not been given what is ours. It's been taken away. What we have created, which is everything, has literally been ripped and snatched away from us. And so now we get this mentality like, oh, I gotta survive, I gotta get this money, I wanna do this, I wanna have that. That's all great. I'm not shooting that down. Get yours. Have all the things you wanna have, baby. But what I'm saying is, if you are focused only on that and you're forgetting about the spiritual things inside and around you, then you will be stuck. And you are not free. You are still held captive. So I am here to assist in this freedom, because as I free myself, I free my people. And that's what this is about. It's about freedom. It's about getting to where you got to be, because in this war that we are in, and that is really about to pop off in real life and in the spiritual realm, if you're not where you must be, you will get swept away by the fire. And my people will not get swept away by the fire. My people are the fire. So I encourage you, I encourage me, I encourage all of us to keep seeking and to keep being so aware and keep digging. And if it hurts, then, you know, you got to push through and you got to figure out where you're trying to get to. I want us all to be here, not off somewhere else, because then you got to get back here. Somehow, some way you got to get back here. If you don't get back here in this life, you're going to come back and you're going to do it all over again until you're back here, right? It's like a reset. So I know I'm not doing no reset. I'm making my way here all the way. And so that is just a little piece, a little tidbit. Energetically, as I said, I'm going to bring it back around. As I said, the veils are thinning, which means we are being able now to access and feel deeper and feel more of the things in the spiritual realm. That means sensations in the body. That means messages from You might not know where they're from, but you're going to hear things and feel things. You must tap into those messages that you hear, that you see, the signs, the animals. When you wake up, when you pray, I know you got it. I know you hear that voice inside of you. I know you do. Listen to that voice. Follow that voice. Be able to have discernment, because that voice is helping you get to where you need to be. We've been taught to not trust that voice. We've been taught to trust the voice outside, the voice in the pulpit, the voice up there at the altar, the voice somewhere else. But that voice has to come from you. So my voice, I listen to my voice, and I tap in to the universe and to the consciousness that's floating within and around me, and I share with my people and encourage you to also do the same thing. My voice is only a guiding light. My voice is not your voice. Your voice might be telling you something completely different. The point is that you got to find it, because you got to get to where you need to be. Things are happening, and if you're not where you need to be, you will be swept away. Your ancestors are calling you. This is also a part of getting to where you need to be, ancestral work. You cannot be afraid anymore of spirits, of death. You cannot be afraid anymore of those things. You were taught to be afraid. You were taught to ignore those things. You were taught to believe that those things are lies. You were taught to believe that that was evil. Those are all false. Those voices and those spirits and those ancestors of yours are calling you to come back. So before I get into a whole nother video and a whole nother lecture, this is just a word of encouragement. I am working on more structured, messages and things, and more topics. So feel free to ask questions in the comments, leave your feedback. If there are things you want me to talk about more and go deeper into, I would love to continue to create those things. This is only the beginning, because as I heal myself, I heal my people. And that's who I am, and that's what I'm here for. So thank you for allowing me this. Peace, power, and love.